What's cracking, gamers? G-Man .766 Gaming here, back for more Pokemon Shield online battles. And right now, it's not working too well. That's why I chose casual battle, and it's a really long story. But to shorten it up, I spent a good amount of time training up these two great Gigantamax Pokemon, Toxicity and Orbeetle, which I was lucky enough to get with really good IVs. So I thought, heck, why not use them while I have them? And turns out the game doesn't want me to, because in ranked battle, Gigantamax Pokemon are banned unless they've been distributed by events such as Snorlax, Butterfree, Pikachu. All of the really common ones that you'll see, they're all allowed, but for some reason they've banned all the ones that are actually hard to get. So let me check my opponent's team here real quick. Okay, so it's all legendaries and it's all dragons from what I'm seeing. Celebi, Jirachi, and then 4 dragons at the end there. I don't have a hugely good dragon counter, save Dragapult with the Choice Scarf Dragon Darts. But what I think I'll do is we will lead Toxapex. Actually, I'm wrong. We'll lead Ferrothorn. And then we'll chuck in Mimikyu, and at the back Dragapult. So not even using the Pokemon that I spent so long training up. But I think this is the best option against their team, because with all of their dragons, I can't see many of my setup Pokemon, such as Toxapex, doing too well. We'll see. It looks like either they're new and they've transferred all their legendaries over from another game, or they've just hacked them into the game now that they're here. Although the fact it's caught in a... oh, it's shiny. That's a shiny Reshiram, everyone. That is pretty cool, actually. However, not a great matchup against my Ferrothorn, unfortunately. It looks like I might just have to sack the Ferrothorn straight away. We'll go for a Stealth Rock, but I'm sure they'll just hit us with a Fire move. Oh, they're going straight for the Dynamax as well. This could be a huge yikes for us, I can't lie. Let's see, they'll move first as well, more than likely. That is one big Reshiram. I mean, that's how big I imagined it to be, I guess. And coming in with the Max Flare. Of course. That was a bit unfortunate. And now we've got Harsh Sunlight as well to boost the fire type moves. This is going to be a lot harder than I initially thought it would be. I guess right now our biggest hope is to go Mimikyu, Swords Dance up using that disguise, which wastes one of their Dynamax turns. So for those of you that don't know, Mimikyu's ability disguise means that the most damage it can take with the first attack it's hit by is 5%. So this Reshiram with big boosted attack isn't going to be very useful, at least for the first turn, and we'll see what we can do from there. I've got Play Rough on the Mimikyu, so after I Swords Dance and I'm having a double effective Play Rough, and I move first as well, which is really, really good to know. Okay, so they're hitting with the Max Quake. This, again, should only do 5%. Unless it just doesn't. Am I missing something? Okay, so my disguise ability, I guess, doesn't come into effect? That is so weird. I'm wondering why. I guess we can just go for a crit Play Rough and hope that everything works out fine. Although I'm very, very confused as to why the disguise didn't work. I'll have to do some more research into that, but it looks like, yeah, that's probably game 1 done for us, although they are out of their Dynamax turns. They've got their special defense boosted up pretty high, but luckily I've EV trained my Dragapult to have a really good physical attack and not special attack, so it is our last hope, but it is a very fast Pokemon as well, so we'll see if we can pull something crazy off here with Dragapult. I think going for the Dragon Darts right now without Dynamaxing should kill it. I'm really hoping. This is a max attack, max speed Dragapult, so I'd be surprised if this doesn't do enough to hit Reshiram. And one more hit. There we go. Alright, this could be a turnaround. We are down 3-1, now down 2-1, and I guess it will all depend on what Pokemon they have in the back. I'm assuming they're going to bring Zekrom and Eternatus, just because I saw their big old dragon party, although worst case scenario for us, I guess, is they brought... okay, so their Zekrom is here, and I am a choice, so another... okay, that's another shiny, which is very interesting. So it is possible they hacked them in, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't do too much. I am going to go for the max Whimrind, because it will also lower their attack, which means if it does not KO off the bat, which I'm really hoping it does, here now that we've got the Dragapult, it's got Choice Scarf, which usually means I'm locked into one move, but obviously Dynamaxing means that you're not even available, you're not able to use the same moves. So it lets me choose a different Dynamax move. Let's see what this Whimrin does. That's not quite it. Alright. This is going to be tough. Let's see, their attack falls. Although they go for the Draco Meteor, which I eat up. And their special attack harshly drops. Sunlight's gone as well. Okay, so we can pull this one out. Let's see. Lowers target's defense, intensifies sun, lowers special attack. I think we just go for the Whimrind again. There's nothing that boosts us. Especially since this is only the second turn of Dynamax. I guess if they brought their Celebi, which I don't even think is a fairy type. I'm pretty sure it's grass psychic type has stuck. But if they brought a fairy type, again, Jirachi they had as well, which I think retained its psychic steel. I bet Pokemon's regretting giving them two types. And I was right, they brought the Eternatus and the Zekrom. And of course Eternatus is shiny locked, it's not actually possible to get one in the game. So everyone would know they were hacking here if they did get a shiny there. But to a point where they would be banned straight away if they even brought it into the game, because it can't exist. So, good move on their part, I guess. And we've done it. We have pulled back. Oh! Random crits are fair and balanced, guys. I'm sure you can hear in my voice how happy I am about that. Oh. Now, I need to do a calculation to see if I would have beaten that guy without the random crit there. But that is pretty funny that we got that. That is very, very funny, actually. So we'll continue battling. We're on a roll here. We're 1-0, at least on the video. May have had some rough starts out of video, but it's casual battles. You won't see my ranking. You won't see my win-loss record. Although I did have a pretty cool ranked battle without all the Pokemon I used against Hayden. I know a Hayden. Let's see what their team is. That is a lot of normal types. That is a huge amount of normal types. I'm not seeing anything too threatening psychic-wise. The Orangaroos probably going to use Trick Room. So I think it's probably worth me bringing a slow team. I'm imagining they bring in their Orangaroo first. Try and Trick Room straight away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lead with my Dragapult. And I'm just going to go for... Actually, I'll lead with Mimikyu. And we will bring... You know what? Let's just see. Let's just see. We'll bring Toxapex and we'll bring Dragapult as well. Because I think Toxapex will be good for poisoning and stalling out a lot of their big, chunky... Here I am in the reflection. And another guy with not a great league card. Sorry, Hayden. And Sword version. Imagine getting Sword version. Clearly the worst of the two games. I'm over here with Gumi and Tyranitar. And he does lead with the Oranguru, as I thought, and he will definitely go for a Trick Room here, which, again, for those of you who don't know, means that slower Pokemon move first for 6 turns, really. Although I did forget that it was also a normal type, and that my Ghost-type attacks would have no effect. Yeah, this is rough. I'll go for a Swords Dance. And I'm positive that he's just going to Trick Room here. We'll see what happens, though. We might have to try and stall out. Oh, he went for a Psychic. Going for the Disguise Break here. Which, as I mentioned last time, although I don't know why it didn't work last time, it must have been something to do with the fire on the battlefield, or Reshiram's ability. I guess we'll try and knock out this Oranguru with a Max Starfall. Now, I am Life Orb, so I'm going to do a bit of extra damage at expense of my own health every turn, which is pretty good. I don't know how tanky Oranguru is. I assume, again, it's one of the big, slow, very high hit point Pokemon, so this probably won't knock it out. And at the end of the day, I've brought a very fast Pokemon in Dragapult, which will lose to all of the stronger, very slow Pokemon. And that one-shots Oranguru before they can get their Trick Room up. And we've got a Misty... I think Misty Terrain? Mist swells around the battlefield, that's true. We have the Misty Terrain, which will boost our Fairy-type moves, as well as a whole bunch of other things. They can't use status moves on us. And Mimikyu right now is probably in a place to win the game. So between that Dragapult clutch at the start, Snorlax, as I expected, they're slow, big, chunky team. We'll just go for another Max Starfall. There's no point wasting these turns of Dynamax. Although a Belly Drum here from Snorlax. Oh, so they're not going to use a Belly Drum. Their best play here is probably Max Guard. Waste 1 turn of my Dynamax. It's a Gigantamax Snorlax. That is pretty cool if you guys haven't seen that before. Snorlax with the tree on his belly with the forest growing around. I think it's actually one of the most underrated Gigantamaxes. Just because of how simple and funny it is. You don't see much you don't see much of them not taking themselves seriously. Oh, I've got a low console battery here. My Mimikyu eats that up. Oh, wow. Without Trick Room, again, my Mimikyu will move first here. It won't have to take another one of those Max Steel Spikes, which is probably an Iron Head on the Snorlax. So if he Max Guards here, that's probably his best play, but doesn't look like he did. So maybe he wasn't running Belly Drum on the Snorlax, which probably would have been insanely good. Oh, don't you love the explosions when you knock out a Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon? And there's the Life Orb taking me down into the red, and I will only have around 20 HP to finish this battle off with Mimikyu. But he definitely served his purpose. So on the Instagram, listening to the viewers, oh no. And a Drampa here, which of course is weak to the Fairy type, is going to be slower than me. Mimikyu can do this, and Ghost-type domination is what this video has been about. Mimikyu obviously a Ghost Fairy, Dragapult a Ghost Dragon, and that could be the title and the thumbnail. These two guys put in work, and of course I didn't get to use the Pokemon. Amazing. This is amazing. Mimikyu carried this entire game and didn't even faint. So that's a 3-0 against Hayden. Did pretty well to stop the Trick Room there. And I think overall, just did super good in those two battles. So nice work, Mimikyu and Dragapult. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I think we can all agree I pulled that first game out of the hat with the random crit, although I'm sure it would have gone a bit more easily in our favour if that Mimikyu disguise ability actually worked. Now I'm not sure what happened there, so if any of you do know why the Mimikyu's disguise didn't come into effect in that first game, let me know in the comments. We're all here to learn and grow. and to enjoy Pokemon battles, which is really what it's all about. So again, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for recommending Pokemon. So many of you over on the Instagram at gman.766gaming. If you're not already following that, it is super cool. You know, I put questionnaires up there, ask you guys what you want to see, make it correlate with what I want to do. Speaking of, Pokemon Y playthrough is coming super soon. So again, one last time, thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys next time.